Okay, hello and welcome back. I am Justana and we are continuing with Burn the Midnight Oil demo. Um, Last week I played the route for Circe, who's a vampire, and now I am playing the route for Dante, who is something to do with the hound. I read the content warnings last week, but I'll read them again this week. Burn the Midnight Oil contains mature themes and is intended for players 16 and older. Player discretion is advised. Content warnings in the demo include, but are not limited to, horror, blood and violence, strong language, suggestive content, alcohol and drug references, substance abuse, references to past emotionally abusive relationships, references to implied suicidal thoughts. So if any of those is going to bother you, turn back now. Okay. So, why am I streaming on Tuesday instead of Wednesday? Because I may be going somewhere with my sister tomorrow. So, that is our plan. But apparently there was a chance for rain tomorrow, but that is no longer the case. So we'll be going tomorrow most likely. So, I decided to go ahead and stream today. The VOD for Circe's route is up. I had it go up on Friday? Yeah, Friday. Because I went and visited my best friend over the weekend. And I'm going to be visiting him again this coming weekend. Because we went to Knott's Berry Farm yesterday. Mainly just to visit because neither of us had been there in decades. And it just so happened to coincide with their Boysenberry Festival. And then this coming Sunday, the Renaissance Pleasure Fair opens in our area. So we're going to go see that because we did that last year. So we want to keep doing that. So that's when I'm going to see him again next weekend. And then we're actually going to hang out again later this month, but partially for a work thing. So, okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So, both routes, there is some intersection. We did actually run into Dante during Circe's route last week, but they have different possible love interests. These three are for Circe. Edgar, I just blinked on her name. Brain, please. Nocturne, I'm fine. And Abraxas. And then these three are Dante's love interests. Potential love interests. Irdris, I think that's how you pronounce it. Irdris, over here. And then Raoul, which is a very French name. And then Zeno. We'll see how that goes. So, new game, here we go. Let's get started. Circe's route took over 2 hours for me to stream, so I'm guessing about the same for Dante. I had hoped to do both in the same stream, but that was a bit ambitious. I didn't realize how long they would take. So we did Circe last time, so here's Dante. Again, an opportunity to return if we change our mind. Or continue if we want to keep going. Dante, stop messing with the files. No. Date of birth, February 7th, 1953. Type, Demi scratched out is hellhound and written in ink is werewolf. Occupation, police officer. Scratched out, I'm not. Emergency contact, Orion Walker. Personal history. Several years ago, Dante struck a deal with Orion, a former friend of his mother. Stuck in North Haven ever since, Dante unwillingly works as a cop. Spends his nights chasing criminals, waiting for the day when he'll finally have fulfilled his end of the deal. At last, Orion puts Dante on his final case. There's a suspicious new drug on the market he wants Dante to investigate, but the roots of this problem might be even more dangerous than they thought. Say no to drugs. The Golden Cat, SCD. I'm guessing that's Dante and his mother. Don't forget your badge. I think that's what that's supposed to be because there's a badge right there. And I can't read that. I would have to zoom in on that. Or sit way far forward, and I don't really care to. So we're going to continue. Okay, first things first. Save. The rain hits the window in a peaceful, hypnotic pattern. Orion stares outside, thoughts wandering. He has no work left tonight. He is done with moving too, so he could go home. Glossary. Orion Walker, an inspector in the Supernatural Crimes Division, that's what the SCD stands for, making him Dante and Raoul's superior officer. Despite being a vampire, Orion has a human family. Both his wife and his daughter are aware of his identity and job. Officially, Orion's daughter Alice is adopted and not his biological child. Vampires shouldn't be able to have children, making Alice a miracle that has to be kept a secret. If her identity gets out, it might catch the attention of questionable people. Perhaps it is because of the similarity that Orion finds it difficult to not constantly worry about Dante. So these are glossary entries that have been unlocked before. But to what? It's not like being at home is any different from standing around here all night. At the same time, he knows he can't stay. Daytime isn't for creatures like him. He's expected to hide away, never to be seen by the ones who wander the hallways after the sun has risen. Deep sigh escapes him. He is sure that it's the rain that's making him melancholic. It had rained the day his mentor died, too. Why the deep frown? Ryan feels himself twitch at the sound of someone else inside the room. Only the familiarity with her voice can ease his initial tension. He locks eyes with the woman reflected in the window. It's you. It's me! Francesca sits down on Orion's desk, giving it a pat. Were it anyone else, he would think them rude. But this is Francesca, Dante's hellhound mother. She passed away when Dante was still young. As a good friend of Orion, she asked him to support Dante after her passing. Okay. I did wonder. If she suddenly behaved politely around him, he would think she was sick. They're each other's precious friends, which is more than Orion has had in a long time. New office, new furniture? It's nice. It is indeed. I was planning on inviting you over sometime, since I guessed you'd want to see it. Speaking of inviting you, did someone let you in? One could almost think that Francesca belonged here, thanks to that natural arrogance of hers. But Orion doubts any officer here would have actually let a stranger walk right into the station for no apparent reason. Not exactly. So you... Orion stops himself mid-sentence. If she wants to get somewhere, she finds a way, even if it means somehow breaking into a police station unseen. She could have met with him outside, which she usually does, but it seems today is different. You know you shouldn't be here. I stopped by your flat, but you weren't there. What else should I have done? Still, breaking in is dangerous. I wouldn't call it breaking in. It's more like entering through unusual means. Orion is admittedly a bit curious, but he won't bother to ask how she did it. She'd only refuse to tell, just to tease him. Sounds a bit like Circe. Besides, that's not what he's focused on right now. What's much more interesting is her scent. She smells human. Are you wearing perfume of some kind? There are items like that out there, made to mask your scent, change it into something else. Rather than the price, it's finding someone who makes them that is more complicated. Orion doesn't understand why she would go through the trouble. Normally, she more or less smells like a werewolf. There's no reason to hide that. Werewolves. Supernaturals who are able to switch between human and werewolf form. Most werewolves find it easy enough to integrate into human society while still keeping their pack together. Francesca smiles and looks around. Her tone is playful, as it most often is. This office suits you much better than the old one. A bit empty, though. I think I'll need some decorations. I would have brought something if I'd known you were moving. Francesca. There's no making her talk about something she doesn't want to say. Give it up. He plays along. I would have told you about it, but I only heard about the promotion last evening. Wow, that's short notice. When Adric decides on something, you might be faced with sudden changes without any warning. This was such a case. Chief Superintendent of the Supernatural Crime Division in North Haven. Okay, I figured he was the boss. You're an inspector now? Your boss sure is a spontaneous guy, but congratulations on getting promoted. If you're happy about it, otherwise, my condolences. Is he happy? For a moment, Orion pauses to consider his answer. I hope I will do it justice. Of course you will. You're an excellent officer, Orion, one of very, very few. Believe me, this city is lucky to have you. Francesca turns quiet. She suddenly seems a bit downcast, which is unusual, and the hesitation on her face makes Orion uncomfortable. She doesn't like being seen as anything other than her confident self. Is everything all right? You know that I'm always here to help you. Now she has to chuckle. Orion has helped her only once so far, and it had been a giant mess of her being accused of a crime she didn't commit. She'd taken a liking to him for believing that she was innocent. Their meetings since then have been irregular, but when she does come by, Orion is happy to make time. Francesca is the only one who he can confide in. If she is indeed in need of his help, he'll do whatever is necessary. There is no need to worry about getting involved in something he can't do. If she is here to ask him, then it is within the realm of his means and morals. But that's not what she's here for. I probably won't come by to visit you anymore. We'll have to stay in contact another way. Orion tenses up. Is someone after you? If anyone catches wind of her identity, that she isn't the werewolf she portrays herself as, but rather a hellhound, then she is in danger. Hellhounds, a demonic subspecies. Hellhounds are described as large canine beings with fire-related abilities. Despite some similarities, they are not related to werewolves in any way. Being natural fighters and very loyal to their pack, hellhounds were creatures you should avoid provoking. Even so, there were several wizards who attempted to abduct helpless hellhound pups for unsavory reasons. Many rumors have appeared since all the hellhounds vanished decades ago. Some say they've gone extinct, others claim they never existed at all. Well, clearly that's wrong. It has been a while since hellhounds completely vanished, hiding away where no one could find them. Not everyone cares about finding one in the first place, but those that do are dangerous. If there is someone after her already... Oh no, I'm safe. She playfully waves a hand and he calms down, though he glares briefly at her. She grins and needs to have gotten a reaction out of him. But if it isn't that, then... Is this related to your husband? Your mate? Mates, the spouse of a werewolf or hellhound. Werewolves might change their mates, but hellhounds mate for life. A mate doesn't necessarily have to be from the same species. Dun dun dun! Yes. She touches her belly. Orion stops himself from rushing over. I'm pregnant. Knew it. I knew that's why she came to see him. Future Dante right there. Congratulations. Thank you. Her voice is warm and filled with love. Orion has never met her husband, but he has seen him from afar, a normal human. The relationship isn't going to be easy, but Francesca always wanted a mate and child. Her wish is finally being fulfilled. So yes, I will be focused on taking care of him. Makes things a bit more complicated. Him? You already know the gender? She didn't mention being pregnant the last time they met, which wasn't that long ago, and her stomach is still flat. She can't be too far along. Not officially, but I have a hunch. Francesca's instincts aren't to be underestimated, so Orion is tempted to believe her. A son. I already thought of a name. You want to hear it? Her excitement is infectious. Orion feels himself smile. I'd love to. Dantalian, or Dante. That one's a bit snappier, don't you think? It's a good name. Did you come up with it together with your husband? He left the full decision to me. We want our boy to have a name that suits a hellhound, and my husband hardly has any idea what those would be. It'll be the only connection he will have to my side of the family for a long while. Her voice drops again. She sighs, visibly affected by the ups and downs of her own emotions. Oren's eyebrows scrunched together. Although hellhounds and werewolves aren't the same species, they do share various canine characteristics. One of them is their pack, which is of great importance to both. Do you not intend to introduce him to your pack? Is there a reason to hide him? Because he's half human? Hellhounds don't care about that. Francesca closes her eyes and inhales deeply, steadying herself. What else is going on here? You'll stay here with the humans. My son will grow up as one. No going back to my home, at least not anytime soon. Orion goes through what he knows about hellhounds. It's not a lot, either unconfirmed rumors he has heard from other supernaturals or tidbits from Francesca. As far as he knows, young hellhounds are still too weak and worse, too unstable to protect themselves. Hang on, I have to write something down. Yeah, so many crumbs. I made a mess. Okay, got that written down. That makes them easy targets for people who want to catch a hellhound. They'd never be safe out in the open. It'd be more secure for Francesca to take her child and husband into hiding, join her family, in that place no one knows. A place where a young hellhound can be raised without worry. That sounds like a great risk to take. Will he be safe here? Well, Francesca brushes a hand through her hair. There's only one way or the other. Either we join my family until our son is grown, or we stay here. My husband won't be happy in my home. It's too different. So I decided we would stay here. A hellhound's mate and child are always equal. Francesca would never make a decision that favored one over the other. And the child? It's not as dangerous as you think, as long as we do it the right way from the start. We will be a human family. My son will be raised as a human. His father will be one, and I will be one too. Orion sniffs the air again. She still smells human. That is likely part of the plan. He hadn't expected the perfumes to be so effective. We will completely escape the attention of anyone supernatural. As long as we do that, there's nothing to fear. Ha ha. Although it will mean you're giving up a lot of yourself. Hardly a big sacrifice to make for the happiness of my loved ones. So the plan is to seem as human as possible? Yes, don't stand out, don't attract attention, be a normal family of humans who have no idea who is living among them. Don't meet with any supernaturals. That includes you. Ah, Orion chuckles into the silence that's fallen upon them. Don't look so guilty, I understand. If you regularly met up with a vampire, people would get suspicious of how you know each other. One of the most common terms for their kind. Contrary to popular belief, vampires aren't solitary creatures as they tend to be tied to a clan. Most of the clans do avoid fraternizing with other non-humans, however, also known as too many names to count. Yes. You will move away as well, I imagine? Not many people have seen me around, but we won't take the risk. I'm also going to do something about my looks so that even if we do run into someone, I won't be recognized. A shame for my beautiful face, don't you think? Your husband is very lucky to have a wife that is willing to do so much for him and your child. Oh, don't flatter me. You do the same if you had a family. I would. But it doesn't matter anymore. You'd accepted that he would never have a family when he allowed himself to be changed. He'd accepted it even before that. Don't say that. You're immortal. You're too young to talk as if you'll never find love. I'm hardly young. You are, for a vampire. Believe me, there will be more than enough women who will appreciate your mature charm, even as a vampire. I'm not interested in a relationship right now, let alone with a human. I said the same about humans before I met my husband, and now look at me. Fate will decide for you. Francesca falls silent once more. If you can. Yes? Considering you're technically immortal, you will outlive me easily. if needed. You call me young, but not yourself? You have several centuries ahead of you. I know, I'm just saying that if needed, and if you're not busy with your own family or anything, could my son come to you for help when he needs it? I'm offended you even think you have to ask. You, your husband, and your son may contact me anytime. Francesca puts a hand on her chest, exhaling slowly. That's a relief. The thought of my boy being alone has been nagging me since I knew I was pregnant. Be honest, there really isn't anyone after you? No one. I'm probably just overthinking, but I still wanted to talk to you about it. It was... She doesn't finish her sentence. Come on. She doesn't finish her sentence. A hunch. Neither of them want to think about why she feels so worried when there is no need to be. Francesca slips off the table. She brushes off her clothes and smiles at Orion. You're leaving? Yes, it's about time. My husband is waiting with all of our things packed. I'm not sure when or if we will see each other again, but I'll send you letters. They could be traced. I'll get them to you without anyone noticing. That much I can do. You just want to boast about your child, don't you? Maybe? She laughs more lighthearted now. Well, I guess this is goodbye. Farewell, Orion. Farewell, Francesca. I wish you the best. Thank you. Orion watches her leave. The door falls shut with a sound of finality. For some reason, he has a feeling they will not meet again. Well, I mean, she said as much, but, you know, there is a possibility of meeting again anyway, but, yeah, a hunch. A hunch can be wrong. He prays it is. Stay safe. You and your family. The rain starts to come down harder. Orion sighs, turning away from the dreary sight, and gets ready to go home. My little boy, my Dante, always remember, I love you, but that's why you can't run free. You have to hold back. You have to keep control. Keep calm, keep quiet. Don't let go. Don't lose yourself. Don't burn, don't burn, don't burn. Don't die, my child. Oh. There's so much weight to that. Damn it. Inside the empty room, there's no alarm clock to tell the time or wake him up. Despite that, curled up underneath the sheets, Dante opens his eyes just in time to get ready for work. Is that a tattoo? That looks so cool. So I guess he's a breach kind of guy. Dante, a half-human, half-hellhound who works in the supernatural crime division, having struck a deal with his boss and late mother's friend, Orion, Dante is unable to resign for the moment. To protect his real identity, Dante pretends to be a werewolf. The only one who knows the truth is Orion. The air is cool, it's comfortable as long as he stays under the sheets, but when it hits his skin, goosebumps form. It'd be more comfortable to sleep in his other form. It'd be more comfortable to ever be in it at all, but he's not going to risk it. The world won't allow him to slip up. Hellhounds are easily mistaken for werewolves as long as they remain in human form, but the moment he lets his animalistic features out, the differences would be far too obvious. Dante prefers not to out himself by accident. He's been sleeping like this since childhood anyway. Sitting up, Dante stretches, easing some of the tension that crept into his muscles while he slept. One of those dreams again. I didn't need to start my night like this. Sluggishly, he drags himself out of bed. Whatever. It's not a dream he's unfamiliar with, but there hasn't been a single time when he enjoyed waking up to the voice of his mother. But in the end, a dream is only a dream. When the lights in the room turn on, it quickly fades. Dante rubs his eyes, blindly stumbling towards the bathroom for a shower. Getting ready for a job at night is no different from getting for a job during the day. Wash up, change clothes, eat breakfast, or not. If you ask Dante, it's a waste of time. I could not go without breakfast. I have to eat once I get up. description of everything. Yeah, it looks like that's a tattoo. Interesting choice. It's little Dante has in his room, and even less that he cares to bring to work. He's ready in no time. Hair still damp, he walks towards the door, but stops midway. There's footsteps, 2 pairs. There we go. Dice. Where's my dice? Over here. Come on. There we go. Open. Open, open, open. Go away. Ah, there we go. There's the D4. If I can just get it out. There we go. Since it's a D4, it's smaller than the other, so it's sometimes hard to grab. Okay, so I have a D4 since there's 2 options. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. 4. Wait. He sighs, leaning against the wall right next to the door with closed eyes. The lighter pair of footsteps approaches quickly, stopping right in front of the flat. Knock, knock, knock. Only after hearing the knock does Dante open the door. He doesn't understand why Alice insists on having him wait. This seems to make her happy. Alice Walker, Orion's human daughter. Though she's not a supernatural herself, Alice is aware of their existence and her father's identity. She doesn't understand why her parents are trying to keep her from learning more about non-humans. Besides her parents, Alice's favorite person in the world is Dante. She is determined to adopt him into her family, and despite his sometimes rough behavior, she is convinced that Dante loves her as much as she loves him. And I'm sure he actually does, just tries to hide it. Dante, good evening! She has no sense of danger. Half his size, she still manages to hop high enough to hang off him. Oh my god! How cute! She's adorable! I love her! The little bows in her hair! Oh my gosh! Under any other circumstances, Dante's reaction to having someone jump at him would be to throw them somewhere else, but that's not an option at the moment. Alice! The girl ignores his scolding tone, clinging to Dante even tighter. Awkwardly stabilizing her in his arms, Dante decides to glare at the second person approaching. It's easier than glaring at the kid. Alice's father sees no reason to hurry over. He just tips his head in greeting, perfectly relaxed about letting his little girl cling to a supernatural. Good evening. Oh, he was looking very dapper. I mean, I didn't say it earlier, but he definitely looked dapper in the prologue. But he looks even more dapper now. Instinct makes Dante want to return the greeting in kind. Out of spite, he doesn't. What are you doing here? And more importantly, what is she doing here? Alice allows herself to be put down. Even though there's a soft growl accompanying Dante's words, she looks mostly unimpressed. She's gonna have no fear. The rest of the world better look out. I'm not allowed to come. This is no place for a child who wants to save. This corner of the city is dangerous. You know that. Excuse me. Besides, it's not good for a child to spend so much time with non-humans. What comes out of Dante's mouth instead is, you are. Cursed be those big, innocent puppy eyes. Are you mad I'm here? It's hard for Dante to be. Don't get mad at pups. Not really, even if they're not an actual pup. No. So there's no problem. Still doesn't explain why you're here. With a chuckle, Alice's father joins the conversation. I just picked her up from her friend's place. She doesn't want to go home before she says hello to everyone at the station. You being the most important. Orion's face softly looks at Alice. Yes! Big, rough, tough guys who are secretly tough for kids, and I love it! Dante doesn't know the Orion from before Alice was born, but he knows enough about vampires to know what she is. A literal miracle. A vampire and a human shouldn't be able to have a child, and yet here she is. That she is Orion's biological child is carefully kept secret. I mean, there's enough of a difference in their looks that it's plausible that she's not related to him. Only if you actually know would you be able to tell. Despite all the obstacles in their way, they're a happy family. And for reasons Dante doesn't get, Alice keeps trying to pull him into it. I really, really wanted to see you. You never come by, so if I don't go to you, we never meet. The pout. Oh my gosh, that's so adorable. Which would be preferable. I don't agree with her visiting the office either, but you know that it's impossible to stop her from doing what she wants. Haha. Orion's words aren't quite the truth. He never let Alice near anything that could cause her harm. It's because he's confident that the station is a safe place that he lets her visit for a couple of minutes. I'm not scared at all because everyone is nice. Nice? You can't agree with that. Raoul aside, most of Dante's co-workers are ready and happy to start a fight the moment they're challenged. As funny as Dante thinks it is to have an entire division full of questionable personalities, he wouldn't call them nice. Everyone just acts friendly around Alice because she's a little pup. Himself included. Yup. Besides, you and Dad protect me anyways, right? I'll always protect you. Ooh, flashback. Dante? Alice reaches out to grab Dante's hand. He recoils, so his resistance melts away the moment he sees Alice's expression drop. You would. Alice's expression wavers for a moment, but she catches herself quickly. I knew it! Behind Alice, Orion watches them, too amused to intervene. I hate that smile. Are we leaving now, or are we going to stand around and talk forever? Orion's eyes shift away from Dante's. He touches Alice's shoulder, and the girl hums in a questioning tone. Alice, would you let us speak alone for a moment? Okay. She takes a step past Dante, but stops to look up at him. Only when Dante waves his hand at her does she run onward, vanishing around the corner to explore the bedroom. Your room is so boring. There's nothing here. One day I'll make you decorate it. I'll get you a new lamp and curtains and then a bookshelf. Her voice trails off. Dante listens to the sounds for another moment, steps towards the window, then the squeak of it being opened. Knowing that she's successfully distracted and not eavesdropping, Dante and Orion turn towards each other. So, what do you want? Don't think I believe your shitty excuse. That's not why you're here. He knows Orion too well. I am picking her up, and she did want to come here. I didn't lie. But I'll admit it's good to see you in advance. There's a new case. And there's one every day. What, are you here because you didn't think I'd be on time? Too bad, I'm awake. It's a task I can only hand to you and Raoul. He's saying that he knows that Dante won't want the case. He's trying to get all the fuss out of the way without Raoul around. Just because Raoul loves to rile Dante up whenever he tries to evade work. Sounds like it's going to be a massive bother. I'm not doing it. You have no other choice. I do. You just heard it. I'm not taking. We have a deal, Dante. That damn deal. That's why Dante's a police officer in the first place. There's no way he'd ever work as one either. Otherwise. Just a couple more months and I can finally leave. Come on. There we go. Even with the deal, I can still say no. But you won't. I could. You won't. Dante, I have a daughter. We can go back and forth like this for as long as you want. You'll say yes in the end anyway. Why pretend you won't? Because he doesn't like giving in immediately, and Orion knows it, which is why he appears so amused. Your answer? Fuck you. Seriously. The old man is decades and decades older than him, but Dante doesn't like the way he's being patronized. Being treated like a child makes bad feelings well up. Tension creeps into his shoulders. It's because of that, Orion softens his tone. I really do need you on this case. Dante audibly exhales, refusing to look at Orion any longer. Instead, he turns back towards the interior of his flat. Grabbing his jacket, he calls for Alice. Alice, we're leaving. Coming. When the little girl rushes over, Dante stretches his hand out to her. She takes it, beaming. Don't smirk. Don't smirk. Not smirking. That's absolutely a smirk. No way this is not a smirk. I'll let go if you don't stop. I'm stopping. See, I'm completely serious. Right. Dante locks the door behind him. There's nothing inside to steal, but Orion's the one paying for it, so Dante doesn't want to risk any damage. He has the man enough already. It's not the best reason for locking up, but it's a decent reason. The sun went down a while ago, leaving behind the darkness that Orion, as a vampire, can freely move in. Ever since Dante started working at the station, nighttime has become his new normal as well. It's an odd feeling. Station. Okay. SCD, the Supernatural Crime Division. So I have worked nights. I do not like working nights because no one else is really out and about at that time. And my schedule is completely off from everyone else. If I knew more people, I knew my coworkers that worked at night, but none of them lived nearby, so it was hard to really get into anything, and it was so hard to get things done. So night shift is not fun, at least in my opinion. He's always been more comfortable wandering around in the dark, but having a regular job is completely different from sleeping and waking up whenever he pleases. That said, Alice is a human child, and the yawns slip out of her even if she tries to stifle them. Not wanting anyone to suggest for her to go home without visiting the station, she quickly speaks up. Dante, are you free this weekend? Sunday? Why? I'm going to bake cookies with Mom, and she said if you want some, you can come over. In the afternoon, though, so Dad will be inside his room. Dante doesn't have to look down at Alice to know that she's fidgeting. Not scared of hugging me, not scared of holding my hand, but scared to hear a rejection. Because it's important. As if he's gonna reject her. I'll drop by. I'm not going to promise when, though. Really? If I say I'll come, I will. Thank you. You'll love the cookies, and you can eat dinner with us, too. We'll get a lot of meat for you. If I feel like it. Do you think you'll be there for lunch? Mom will want to know. Depends on when I get up. When will you get up? Whenever I wake up. Why do you not have an alarm clock? He indulges her curiosity before I can think to point out that he doesn't have anything in his flat. Can't stand the ticking. How about a digital one? Waste of electricity. I don't need one. I can sleep whenever. You do have a job. And have I ever overslept? On purpose? Yes. See, I don't need a clock to be on time when I want to be. So you just go to sleep and wake up when you want? Yeah. I wish I could do that. You can if you practice. I really wish I could do that too, because it'd be really nice to not toss and turn a bit before finally getting to sleep and be able to go back to sleep if I wake up too early. Maybe? He's not actually sure humans can do that. So you really have no clock at all. I do have one in a drawer if I need it. Wrapped up in several layers of fabric to muffle that annoying ticking. Drives him insane. Why did you buy it if you weren't going to use it? I didn't. Your father did. The only things Dante bought for the room were a number of pillows. Dad, why did you buy one for Dante if he wasn't going to use it? A long time ago, Orion still hoped that he could convert Dante to a normal lifestyle. He'd given that up quickly enough. Well, you never know when it might be useful. At this moment, the police station comes into view. We're here. I'll quickly give Dante and Raoul their briefing for the night, and afterwards we can go home. Alright? Alright. And as usual, no leaving the room, no bothering anyone who looks tired, no touching anything. No talking to Raoul unless he's holding his coffee and I see him take at least a sip. Did Dante tell you to do that? No, Raoul did. Certainly something that Raoul would say. Well, I'm sure he's already had enough time to make his coffee. We're a bit later than usual. Not my fault. My fault? Your stubby legs still need time to grow. But you're not saying it's not my fault, huh? She is so cute! Oh my gosh! As soon as Ryan opens the door, he smiles. Ah, there's Raoul. Did we actually see Raoul in Circe's route? We did see Dante. As a human child, Alice has little understanding of how quickly some supernaturals can locate people inside a room, but locating Raoul is easy, even for her. He's in the little corner where the coffee maker is, just like at the start of every shift. Alice runs up to him as he takes a sip from the mug. Raoul, hello! Did you refuel? Is the conversation function working, or do we need to wait? Raoul pats her head, a bit of fondness creeping into his eyes. Oh my lord, oh my gosh, uh-oh. It's enough. Good evening to you as well. He then turns towards Orion. Good evening, sir. And to Dante. Hello. What, no good evening for me? No, I don't want you to have one. Do you want to see how quickly I can ruin your evening? Do the both of you want to have a bad night? I already told Dante, but I have a task for you. Raoul takes a big gulp from his mug. Evening ruined. Thank you very much, sir. I love this. Alice watches the adults with worry. Is there a big problem, Dad? It's just work as usual. Go and say hello to the others. I won't be long. Fine. Raoul sighs, leading the way to his desk. He takes a chair, side-eyeing Dante as he sits next to a neat stack of paperwork. Okay, yeah, I think we did actually see Raoul. We ran into both of them at the Golden Cat, which is a bar. Don't sit on my desk. Would you rather I lie down on it? Raoul looks like he's about to throw something, but holds himself back. If like the table that much, should we get a leash for that collar of yours and chain you to it? I wonder if there's significance to the collar that Dante wears. I'm all up for games, but maybe not in public. I don't know about you, but I don't need observers. Doesn't turn me on. He watches Raoul process the last bit of conversation, the words seeping much too slowly into his caffeine-deprived brain. Sir, permission to stab him? Denied. Abstain. A castration might help calm him down. You started it, and with a child in the room, even. Raoul closes his eyes. If he has some sort of mantra to keep calm, now is when he's using it. He turns to Orion, ignoring Dante completely. If there's a case, it might have been better to not bring Alice along. She looks worried. Orion joins them at the desk. I wish she was worried. Because of me and Dante, she has far too little fear of supernaturals. I guess it's positive that she accepted having a vampire's father this quickly. If you two want to talk about childcare, do it when I'm not around. Give us a terribly important briefing already. It is rare for you to give us the briefing directly, sir. Did something happen today? Last night, actually. You two were gone already, and I was doing a final round of patrols before heading home. Orion leaves for a moment and then returns, a folder in hand. He taps on it as he talks. It was mostly quiet. I ran into a fight in front of Mirage. Nothing unusual at first glance. Mirage, a popular club for supernaturals in North Haven owned by the werewolf Alfred Chadwick. Humans in the know are also allowed inside. Okay, I couldn't remember if Raoul was human or not. But one of the men was unusually aggressive. It was almost impossible to get them off each other. Just was about to resort to harsher methods. One of them, Orion, stops. The way he's hesitating is unusual. He usually knows what to say. He changed. Mutated, you could call it. Did you arrest him? He died. What? It escalated that far? Did you accidentally break his neck? No, he died on the spot. From one second to the next, he simply fell over and stopped moving. Raoul inhales deeply. Dante has heard him curse often enough, but this time, the man only glances in Alice's direction. Yeah, definitely don't want to teach her curse words. Not that young. His hands move, forming a curse in sign language. Dante knows it well enough to recognize that by now. Oh, interesting that he knows sign language. Does he have family in sign? That's usually the explanation for someone knowing sign language. So does Orion. Don't curse in front of her, not even in signs. I'm not. Raoul quietly puts his hands away. Did you get hurt? Doesn't smell like blood. Be quiet, Dante. I didn't ask you. As Dante already confirmed, no, nothing that didn't heal immediately. The problem is that we have never seen anything like that happen before. His body was in an abnormal state. Pathology? On it, but no updates yet. He didn't tell us what it looks like. We are going to investigate this. Why exactly? Do we think there's more mutants around? We do. I heard mutters of people saying this wasn't the first time they saw that happening to someone. There has to be a cause. So what are we looking for in people? Visually, I mean. Even a smell, if you have one. I'd love to tell you, but it's hard to explain. There's no unusual smell to speak of, and the other changes were... You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Great. Nothing has happened since yesterday, but anything that might catch the attention of humans has to be solved as soon as possible. There's not just one, but several governmental institutions related to keeping humans oblivious to the existence of supernaturals. A rampaging mutant would make that considerably harder. Yes. The SCD, Supernatural Crimes Division, is one of them, of course, and then there's the one that Abraxas is part of. Oh, I can actually access the glossary this way. Okay, cool. SSF. And I'm assuming there are others related to other ways of keeping humans unaware. That is to say, if they don't solve this case as quickly as possible, it might put human eyes on their backs. And then, no way in hell I'm going to deal with Abraxas running around here. And, of course, we met Abraxas last week, and on Circe's route, he's one of her potential love interests, which I mentioned earlier, but just reminding. And he looks very fine, so take care of it before he catches wind of the issue. I need you two to check all the clubs around Mirage, talk to anyone suspicious, watch anyone who stands out. You know your work. Orion places the folder on the table. Raoul immediately pulls it over to himself and skims its contents, but it's so thin that he's done in no time. So why do we have to take this shitty case? Reason number one, you might have to talk to humans, and Raoul is one of the few people in the night shift who passes as a decent police officer. Are you trying to say I don't look reliable in human eyes? Let's just compare here. I mean, Dante isn't even wearing a proper police uniform. All I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm trying to say. Admittedly, Dante looks more like a thug than an officer. Raoul is very helpful when it comes to convincing humans that his badge isn't fake. I'll take care of it as usual, sir. Don't worry. Number two, I want you to keep an ear out for any new substances on the street in case that's related. Zeno might know something you're the only one he'll speak to, Dante. Zeno, a self-taught wizard who designs drugs for the North Haven cartel. His formulas are responsible for the cartel's sudden increase in popularity, as they have greatly reduced the number of side effects of supernatural drugs. Zeno is surprisingly well liked by many supernaturals thanks to his work and cheerful personality. However, he is just as disliked by anyone trying to catch him, and Zeno is exceptionally good at escaping people's grasp over and over again. Okay. So, in Circe's route, we have Edgar, who is human, Abraxas, who is a vampire, and Nocturne, who is a witch. And now in Orion's route, we have Raoul, who is human, and now Zeno, who is a wizard. So interesting. So Raoul goes to question people, and I hunt down Zeno. You're not getting out of the boring task, Dante. Raoul is your partner, so don't even think about going off on your own. He's there to keep an eye on you. So sometimes I feel like a dog trainer. Don't bite, Dante. Be good, Dante. No barking, Dante. Dante growls at that statement, but it sounds hollow, so even Raoul recognizes it as no threat. Zeno isn't as difficult to handle as you pretend, old man. You can tell that to every single officer who has given up on detaining him. He's an overgrown kid, hard to catch, but he's not dangerous. Oh, okay. A self-taught wizard and popular drug designer, Zeno wants life to always be fun, fantastical, and free from serial expectations. Social expectations, there we go. And, Eurydice. Okay. Interesting. Maybe that's why you two get along so well? I'm not. It's time for dinner. I'll take Alice home and come back later. You can handle everything, Raoul? Leave it to me. Thank you. Stop, but... Are we leaving? Messing with me. I don't need Raoul to watch over me. I think you do. See you two later. I love that he changes mid-sentence what he's going to say. Honestly, in some ways, Dante reminds me of Lambert from The Witcher. But I'm only familiar with Lambert from fanfics, so I don't know if that's different in the actual game or TV show or other content, because I haven't really interacted much with it. Bye-bye, see you again soon! No curse in front of the kid, right? Growing up with Orion made her weird. You could just say you like her. Raoul finishes his coffee and puts the mug on the table. He stands up, smoothing out the creases of his shirt. Do you need to do anything else here? Otherwise, I suggest we go. There's a lot to check out. There's nothing more annoying than blindly asking people for information. You won't be asking people. I will. Raoul grabs his coat and shrugs it on. His voice is dripping with sarcasm. Nice. You're there to look scary and ensure that no one tries to mess with the weak human. Humans aren't exactly common in their division for a very simple reason. They're helpless compared to what they're up against. Raoul is the only human officer on Orion's team. At first, Dante thought that a human would be a liability, but Raoul has proven himself to be a valuable member. It's not just about interacting with other humans. Raoul has a completely different view on things than most supernaturals, and while Dante often finds it irritating, it does have its advantages. Yeah, I can see that, because he has a different way of looking at things, and sometimes that different way of looking just kind of, that different worldview just kind of knocks things out into a new direction, and it just kind of helps. And we actually see that in the BBC Sherlock. We see that John's point of view actually helps spark Sherlock and helps him recognize something that he missed, because he was looking at it as Sherlock. But John looking at it as John, with his training and lack of genius, I suppose, kind of helps. I remember I read The Hound of the Baskervilles, which is actually my sister's favorite Sherlock story. And they were looking at the marks on the ground that someone left, and Sherlock pointed, I forget exactly what Sherlock said about the marks, but then I think it was John who was like, why was he walking on tiptoe or running on tiptoe? No, I think it was something about walking on tiptoe, and that's what helped Sherlock realize he wasn't walking on tiptoe. He was sprinting, because when you sprint, you don't put your full foot on the ground. You're only hitting the ground with the tips of with the front part of your foot, which is why he was walking on tiptoe. I mean, just watch runners and the really fast races. Just watch how they move, and you'll see it. I know he's good at what he does, but the supernatural department is a completely different beast from the standard human one. I don't get why he takes the risk. One angry supernatural and he's crippled or dead. Why are you staring at me? Do what I'm asked. Let's ask. Why do you do this? What, interact with you? With supernaturals, working as an officer here, do you have no self-preservation at all? Not that Dante's one to talk. Are you worried about my health? Forget it. I'm just gonna get you really drunk sometime and ask again. That'll be less bothersome. If you're worried about others attacking me, just make sure they don't. That's a valid point. He still thinks it'd be better if Raoul worked in a place with more survivable dangers. Now, come. The night is short. You think? Because I'm feeling like it's going to be a very long night. So, my brain went to The Night is Young and You're So Beautiful from Robin Hood Men in Tights. Brain. It's been a bit. Are we taking your car? No, I've got it parked near the Golden Cat. Let's walk. Pub frequented by supernaturals, this name is based on the original owner's cat. Both Circe and Dante frequent the Golden Cat after work. Yeah, that's where we saw Circe and Dante interact in Circe's route. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a cameo from Circe and possibly Edgar in this route. Your choice. They walk for a short time before Raoul speaks up again. Do you mind if I ask a question? Yes. A question for a question. You mean at the station? You didn't even answer. Then you can ask another question after you answer mine. That is fine. Dante tilts his head to show his agreement. Why is it that Orion treats you like a child? I know he's older, but you and I are around the same age, and he doesn't treat me like that. Why is it that Orion is so worried about you? You're more than able to take care of yourself, but he's treating you like a child who shouldn't run around on his own. We just reestablished that officers aren't allowed to work alone. Not that it stops Dante from trying sometimes. Of course not, but with how much he stresses that I have to keep an eye on you, wouldn't it be better if I wasn't a human? I can't stop you even if you do start a fight. A werewolf is above my weight class. Werewolf being a human is actually the point, not that Dante can explain that. Other than Orion, there is no one who knows Dante as anything other than a werewolf. The only reason Orion knows is that Dante's mother told him, as we saw in the prologue. But Raoul doesn't have a reason to know. It's usually no issue, but in some cases makes explaining things a bit hard. There are similarities between hellhounds and werewolves that allow one to act as the other, but there are also some huge differences. Raoul may hate it, but him being so much weaker than me is exactly why Orion decided to pair us up in the first place. With Raoul around, not only do I have to make sure he stays safe, I also can't run wild. I'd risk injuring him. Annoyingly, Raoul did hit the nail on the head though. Orion is treating him like a child with no self-control. I think he's overly worried about me because he knew my mother. Feels responsible or something. Did he know you when you were a kid? That is not an easy question to answer for several reasons. No. Ah, it's complicated. I see. Earl just nods himself and stops asking. Something Dante appreciates. Not that he'd ever say that out loud. My turn. Same as before. Why did you end up working here? And how? The division doesn't take in many humans. I believe Orion was looking to add a human to the division even before I applied. When we had an interview, it sounded like it. Probably also helped that I was able to use my family name. Previous connections with supernaturals do make it easier for you to get hired. There's that too. You're rich and you obviously have connections, so why spend every night on the beat for barely anything? It's not a bad workplace. Everyone is polite and Ryan is a good superior. Seriously? You haven't worked another job yet, have you? He hasn't, so it's true that he can't compare Orion to someone else. If he put us on this case, he believes that we are the right people for it. Aren't you the slightest bit proud of that? No. That's a shame. You should be. Why? He's just using me. Raoul was partnered with Dante as soon as he joined the Force, but they know little about each other. It's hard to ask about someone else when you yourself are unwilling to talk. Not that Dante isn't curious. If I've got the chance right now anyway. Where'd you work before joining our division? Another question? I'll owe you one. Other police stations for humans? And you switched over to supernatural cases on purpose? You don't stop, do you? It bothers me. It makes no sense. I want an answer or it will annoy me the whole night. It isn't as interesting as you think. I like working with supernaturals. None of you care about who I am, which is a blessing. Right. Where is it? No, that's right now. It's Raoul. Thanks to his family's connections and knowledge, Raoul got glimpses into the world of supernaturals very early, and his fascination with it has only grown, ultimately resulting in him joining the SCD. So what is it about his family? Let me get this straight. People were sucking up to you before because you're rich with an influential family, and you didn't like that? I don't need you to understand, but try to believe me when I say it's really damn annoying when people think you're doing good work because of your name and not because you've been working your ass off for it. That's fair. Perfectly understandable. There was someone wrote a fanfic of you once upon a time where Merida was drafted into the NHL, and everyone kept saying she got in because her father played in the NHL, because that she was drafted by the team her father was coaching because she's his daughter and not because she's a good player. And there's the added complication of everyone saying that she got where she is in hockey because she's a woman and she slept her way to her position, instead of attributing it to the fact that she worked her butt off. So kind of the same thing here. Raoul inhales and straightens his collar. It sounds like there are many stories he could tell about his previous job. I prefer to be judged for my own abilities, not those of my parents and siblings. That's fair. Huh. Alright, that's something I can get. You can? It sounds nice to have people do your bidding without needing to work for it, but if you do work, you should get the recognition, and no one else. Dante shrugs, sliding his hand inside his pockets. Still think you're stupid for putting yourself in danger, though. I guess I can be rather stubborn. But I've survived so far. Yes, because I make sure no one mauls you to death. As we've established before, that's why you're my partner. You're doing a good job. Continue to make sure I don't die. I'm not your babysitter. Bodyguard might be the more appropriate word. Earl's mouth switches into a little smile that he's quick to hide. Although I doubt anyone could convince you to wear a suit. Or anything formal at all. Earl's eyes move over Dante, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, I think he would look good in a suit. There's something about seeing men that normally dress like this, and for whatever reason they end up wearing a suit, and they look damn good in them. I'll have to reject your job offer. I'm stuck at the station for another while. You're certainly stuck for tonight, at least. The first place of interest is over there. Let's get this over with. Their first stop was indeed just the start of a long, long night. Many follow before the end is in sight. I'm going to choke the next person here who wants to waste our time. As expected, or maybe feared, no one knows anything. Not only does it take forever to make them talk, they also end up revealing that they haven't noticed anything other than a couple more bodies than usual. The relationships between the different groups of supernaturals are complicated, meaning that a corpse will immediately cause others to react. With how close a place is to the slums, no one has the energy to care for strangers. I knew this case would be a hassle. This is the last place. Get it together. Earl steps up to Dante's side. Over the years, he's learned to recognize most of Dante's body language, including the signs of his rising annoyance. Another thing that Dante would never say out loud is that Raoul helps. The way he riles Dante up is completely different. Somehow it doesn't make him want to tear out anyone's throat. As much as his presence is a comforting one, can't undo the strain on Dante's nerves. It's tempting to mix in with the crowd. There's alcohol here and loud music, people who want your company for a night who couldn't care less who you are. Even those with good senses would have trouble looking anyone in here, let alone Raoul. If Dante walks off, you'd be rid of him, and this case within a minute. A break just for tonight. And tomorrow is another day. And maybe another break. Dante? Earl grabs Dante's wrist. It's a light hold. Why are you always so quick to realize when I feel like weeping? I could just shake him off. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Dante pulls just a bit and the grip on his arm tightens. You do know you can't hold me if I wanted to leave. If you want to make a scene of dragging a human through the whole room, go ahead. Another short tug. The grip holds. I'm almost tempted to try it just to see if he'd really hold on. But if he's being honest, he'd never do that. Just one drink? Not during work. You're incredibly boring. Dante turns away from the crowd. Earl sighs quietly, as exhausted as Dante feels. We'll be out of here sooner if you resist vanishing into the crowd for 2 minutes. You think I'd have left for only 2 minutes? Do you think you could have left for longer, knowing that I'd be wandering around the club alone? No. Because Dante is still somewhat convinced that Raoul is severely underestimating the danger of supernaturals most of the time. Just like Alice, that's what having supernaturals like Orion around you does, warps your perception. So this is actually taking me back to What We Do in the Shadows, which my friend and I watched this week. It was my first time seeing it. And I'm just remembering Stu from that. I don't think Stu or Nick quite understood what they were getting into. Well, Nick didn't ask to be turned into a vampire, to be fair. So that was kind of interesting. Whatever, where to? Earl's professionalism returns instantly. He glances around. I'd say the owner, considering he's conveniently wandering around over there. Catching the owner instead of some random staff member is half a miracle. First one of its kind for the night. Although, Earl nods towards another corner of the room. That guy might know something too. The little group in the corner isn't hiding. There's small plastic bags being passed around. A dealer, huh? We don't have any evidence that the victim was on something, but the chances aren't low. A dealer's the best bet for tracking any paying customers. Then again, the owner of this place would have a wider network. Oh, okay. This is a bit like whether Circe should talk to Nisha or what's his face? Asshole. Her ex. In that case, I kind of had a good idea of who to pick for that. I didn't feel like it was a good idea for her to talk to her ex. But I don't know. I don't play police procedural games or watch many of those. So we'll use dice. I didn't put my dice away, so we'll use this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 2. The dealer. I think the dealer might know more. Raoul waves his hand, gesturing for Dante to go first. It's easier to walk through the crowd with Dante in front. It parks neatly, no one wanting to bump into a face as grumpy as his. The group's made of one dealer and several customers. They react to someone approaching like a pack of startled squirrels, their heads jerking up as they go quiet. Humans technically aren't allowed inside Mirage, though exceptions are made when they are accompanied by a supernatural. Raoul draws the majority of suspicious stares when he steps forward. Don't have anything for humans. Too strong. The dealer rudely turns away. She's doing a poor job of pretending she's not on edge. Terribly sorry. Not here to buy any. No. Everyone stay. We've got questions. Terribly sorry we don't like questions. You also don't like the police cracking down on your deals, do you? Police don't care about us. Police tolerate you because we have better things to do than run after insignificant dealers. Ooh, ouch. But I'm sure we can make an exception and drag you to the station anyway. The dealer flinches, eyes narrowing. Her fingers curl up. If you think you're faster than me, try it. The dealer is a witch. She definitely has tricks up her sleeve, but she needs time to pull them. How about you talk and no one here gets in any trouble? Doesn't that sound good? The three customers who have been slowly inching away freeze when Raoul looks at them. Forced, awkward smiles appear on their faces. It'll be over quick, I promise. Why do we need to stay? Dante takes a step, positioning himself just slightly behind Raoul. It has a funny effect on the others. They all think Dante's a werewolf, so him letting Raoul lead the conversation feels like an acknowledgement of his strength, even if he is only human. That has all of them lowering their heads meekly, though their eyes can't hide their dislike. Because you might know something as well. We are looking for information on people who've suddenly grown agitated and attacked others, then died without warning. Ah, those. Do you know something? Not know, but seen. But that happens whenever there's a new drug on the market, right? Some people just drop dead. Allergic reactions and whatever, because some of the kinks haven't been worked out yet. Maybe the kinks make you a bit weird in this case, too. Happens everywhere, all the time. No, not here. Not since Zeno's been taking over the work. Zeno, huh? We'll have to come back to that. So you're sure it's a drug that's causing their behavior? No, but that seems likely, right? Was everyone who acted like that a user? Maybe not all, but most of them? It's harder to tell who's taking it than who's buying it. Hang on. My cat wants in. I open the door and he walks away. The dealer clears her throat, taking her words. I mean, they could have not known they were taking something. Raoul nods and homes in, focusing only on the dealer. She shifts, clearly hating the attention. If you're saying it's normal for a new drug to cause problems, does that mean you have seen something new going around? Did someone offer you something? Well, no, but you think that's what happened, right? So nothing was offered to you, and you haven't seen a fellow dealer carrying anything unusual either. If I see a fellow dealer at work, I'm in the wrong corner of town. That's true. We run the same products, and we even have the same damn prices, cartel rules, and all that. I didn't see anything. Seen the death test, but no new pills or powders or whatever. When did the last one come out? 3 months ago? Pretty sure it was 3, yeah. Zeno's work? Who else's? Look, we're not the healthiest people, but anyone would choose a drug that doesn't kill you over the one that does. Zeno's reliable. Yeah, so it can't be anything from Zeno. He's never brought out anything that had side effects this bad. Yeah, that sure is a potential side effect. Then, have any news sources appeared lately? What? No. Why piss off the cartel? Nobody's going to improve any of Zeno's recipes, and if you try to get something of your own out without running it by the higher-ups first, the dealer moves a finger across her throat. The message is clear enough. Yeah. You think they're nice enough to give you a quick death? Woman can hope. I see. Last 2 questions before we leave. Raoul glances at Dante, who gives a small nod to confirm that there's something else he wants to ask. Have you seen Zeno around? Why would we sell Zeno out to the police? Oh, I totally skipped this page of saves. Oh well. I wonder if I did that with Circe as well. I'm a friend of his. We're not after him. I'm a friend. A police friend who doesn't even know. No, that actually makes sense. You totally could be friends because it's Zeno. You know, haven't even met Zeno yet and I already like him. Zeno is Zeno. Weird guy. Great drugs. Great drugs. Not like you can catch him even if you find him. A wizard that talented doesn't just wander around. I saw him out on the rooftops before I came in. He might still be up there somewhere. Okay, have you seen anything else that stood out to you? No, nothing else. There's a new witch in town? Really cute. And that museum blew up. Oh yeah, that happened. The SSF's been snooping around because of it. Yep, we all know all about it from Circe's route. I wonder if the new witch they're talking about is Nocturne. That's noteworthy. Not for the case, but because it sounds like fun gossip. Dante sorts the information in the back of his head. I like that one SSF guy. The vamp, you've seen him before? Really? You're into him? I mean, he's got a cool style. Conversation derails quickly. Raoul rubs his forehead. Alright, that's all. Thank you for your time. Yeah, sure, bye, see you never. The dealer smiles again, but the moment they turn around, Dante can hear him say, did we even have the option to say no? Raoul stretches his neck to check if the club owner is still around, but the man must have left some time ago. Alfred Chadwick, the werewolf owner of Mirage, right? A club for supernaturals. While Alfred is the primary owner of Mirage, the rest of his pack, including his girlfriend Lucy, help him manage things. Though he tries to appear confident, Alfred is very concerned with making sure that neither he nor his business catch the eye of the police or the cartel. He prefers to be called Al, as he finds his full name to be uncool. Oh, that would have been interesting to play off of. Oh well. Shrugging his shoulders, he once more moves behind Dante, who's responsible for getting them outside. Back where there's fresh air and people can talk without shouting, they pause. That looks cool. I like that. Very understated. But still, I love that. That is so cool. Chances of someone trying to put out a new product? Not low, I'd say. There's plenty of willing customers. As long as they could get their product into the dealer's hands, they wouldn't stand out. A foreign designer could seriously anger their cartel. Colluding organization of several drug lords, the North Haven cartel caters primarily to supernaturals, with very few of their products reaching human hands. Since they started working with Zeno, their products have caused significantly less side effects, earning them a less negative reputation even outside North Haven. But there's not much known about the current leader. Interesting. Might be worth whatever they're trying to do. Worrying that there are many more victims than we expected. Orion was right to think that something is wrong. Well, we've checked all the clubs and any other places in the area that make sense, but since we haven't encountered anyone unusually aggressive or dead, we can't do anything else for the moment. I'd suggest you see if you can find Zeno. He's not going to reveal himself if I'm with you, so meet me at the Golden Cat when you're done. I won't try for very long. Better than nothing. In the meantime, I'll inform some people to keep an eye out for any unknown dealers. See you later. Earl doesn't wait for Dante to start complaining, leaving before he can get a single word in. How the fuck am I supposed to find that guy? Dante shoves his hands into his pockets, walking down the street. His best chance of running into Zeno is doing exactly that, just walking around waiting for Zeno to show himself. If he's not asleep, who knows where, he's working at his lab that's also who knows where. If he's not working, he's relaxing on some rooftop. As one of the main designers for an astoundingly large circle of cities, Zeno should be a more dangerous guy, but even the police aren't after him anymore. There's been so many attempts to capture and keep him, but he always slips out. Not to mention that there'd just be someone worse filling in his position if he's gone. Most of the time, Zeno is friendly. He minds his own business and he doesn't pick fights. He's not a direct threat to others. Even a child would be safe around him. As long as you can make sure he doesn't feed them anything weird. Zeno doesn't show up as he walks around. Dante's patience reaches its limits and he stops. Fuck this, I'm leaving. What? I was just about to stage a dramatic entry, and there's Zeno. I've almost got the timing figured out, and now you've ruined all my work. Zeno, there you are. Zeno's sitting on top of a roof, but his voice carries as clearly as if he were standing right next to Dante. Oh, it looks like his snakebite piercings. Okay. Interesting. Here I am. You've been looking for me. I have. Come down. Zeno doesn't even consider it. No way. We must stay apart, for I never know when you might turn on me, taking advantage of me letting my guard down to arrest me. Have I ever even tried to arrest you this whole time we've known each other? No. So I'm not going to start now. Come down. Don't want to. I feel like our current distance is fitting. Something about the distance between our hearts? Are you ever going to stop talking nonsense? Zeno grabs his chest in a dramatic gesture. A cop and a criminal can't be friends. You bring being down there and I up here as a representation of that. Get it? Come on. But we are friends. I thought we were friends. It's embarrassing to say out loud, but Dante thinks it makes sense to call Zeno a friend. They meet irregularly, but Zeno always stops to chat when he sees Dante. Even the occasional chases are nothing more than a game. For reasons Dante doesn't understand, Zeno loves running away from him. Though Dante enjoys chasing, so it does work out. Huh. Zeno's expression momentarily shifts from surprise to something else. He looks like he didn't expect that response, but is happy about it nonetheless. Like a giddy child, he starts bobbing up and down. I guess we are. Great, now that we've established that. It's quite tragic, though. Even as friends, we can't openly spend time together. My superior officer at work knows that I know you. A relationship doomed from the beginning. Stop wandering off into your own world. Then again, relationships that develop despite the unavoidable obstacles between you can be especially sweet. For a long second, Dante allows himself to just close his eyes and inhale. Zeno. Yes? Get your ass down here now, or I'm coming up. Zeno claps his hands together. A small, colorful dust cloud appears, likely remnants of whatever he last worked on. You come all the way up just to have a chat with me? We're like Sherlock and Lupin. True freedom lies in breaking the chains of societal expectations. We are two people who can't be together, can't be apart. We don't care what the world thinks. What the fuck are you saying? I need a damn beer. If you make me climb up to you, I'm going to break one of your bones for every second you've wasted. Up on the roof, Zeno cocks his head. You're so serious today. He gets up and steps off the edge without a second thought. Zeno's body appears from above, hanging upside down, bouncing slightly as he stops right in front of Dante. Hey, look, I've been getting the hang of a new trick. It takes some practice and all the blood runs to your head, but it works. Without comment, Dante grabs Zeno by the waist and turns him around mid-air. Zeno squeaks like a toy, but doesn't struggle. I could snap him in half by accident. Finding himself the right way up again, the wizard stops, hovering, and places his feet on the ground. Subspecies of humans born with the ability to use their life force as magic. Their substantial life force grants them double, sometimes even triple, the life expectancy of normal humans. They are immune to most human diseases. Although it varies from one wizard to another, no wizard has an unlimited life force. When a wizard has exerted their supply, they must take time to rest and recover, otherwise they may experience magic sickness. Magic sickness is curable in the early stages, but if the wizard continues to ignore the warning signs, they risk never being able to use magic again. In the absolute worst cases, it can even lead to death. Throughout history, wizards have formed several societies ranging from smaller covens to larger communities. This is from last week. As is, where is it? Way down here. SSF. What's wrong? Usually you play along for a bit. I'm not falling for the sad puppy facade. Not today. Not twice today, when Alice already got me earlier. I'm still working. I have to talk to you. No time for games? No time or energy. Zeno circles Dante once and makes a doubtful sound. You look more like you have too much energy. You could use some calming down. Want something? I've got some stuff with me. Not right now. Alright, but if you change your mind, I've got a personal stash. I'll give you only the best. Just give me a... Just shout in the street or something. I'll find you. Probably. Sit on the rooftop and howl? You're a werewolf, aren't you? I'm sure you howl very nicely. We'll remember to call you by howling in the future. But about the thing I'm here for. I'm all ears. Actually, I'm working on a spell that gives you a flying ear. Not an actual ear, I think, but you can make it fly around and you can hear what it hears. It's failing so far, but it's going to be fun. Zeno, concentrate. Concentrating? Listening? Do you know anything about a new substance that makes people abnormally aggressive? The majority of drugs in the area, at least for the supernatural, were created by Zeno. Other creators have little space to compete, and those that do are carefully selected and only make specific products. The cartel controls the whole system to its own benefit. Fewer issues, more happy customers. Zeno's expression turns blank. A new drug. Anything you made or were involved in recently? Or any new substance from anyone else? You don't remember. Zeno pulls a hand through his hair, messing it up, but leaves a little trail of blue powder. There is so much stuff I work on and so many recipes. How can you expect me to remember everything? Customer confidentiality or something like that. I don't remember who came to me for what. You're so great at confidentiality that you forget their name before they're even out the door. Exactly. You get me. Do you remember my name? Dante. I'm honored. You're my sworn nemesis. Of course I would remember your name. How many people's names do you know? Like 15? 20? I should have expected this. This guy doesn't remember anything from 5 seconds ago if he doesn't want to. What a way to live your life. It's a nice life. You should try it. Not think about stuff that doesn't have to bother you. It's great. I can use that time and energy for other things, unlike you right now. Sometimes Zeno's suggestions actually make sense. It's odd because usually nothing about him does. Okay, I'm just taking in his sprite. This is weirding me out. I realize that the coat is hanging off his shoulder, but it just looks weird. Rather than worry about who I'm working with or what they're doing, I prefer to think about nice things, like my next meal, for example. We should go eat out together sometime. Weren't you just blabbing about keeping your distance? We don't have to go. I didn't say no. I'm also just saying. Dante blanks out for a moment, thinking about his next meal. Does sound nice. Stop distracting me. I still have questions. And I still have answers. Or not. We'll have to see. You know nothing? I know nothing. Listen, it's not one of the usual party drugs. It's deadly. Kills people? It's what? From one moment to the next, it's like a switch is flipped. Zeno's tone changes completely. Who fucked that up? They are supposed to kill. Dead customers are bad customers, and that gets the police on our backs. Wow, he's pissed. Only people who are alive can buy more. That's just basic business logic. I work my ass off to make sure my stuff doesn't have bad side effects, and here comes some brainless designer messing it all up. Really? They're going to tarnish my name. Do you even care about your reputation? No, but this is a matter of principle. Which principle? Zeno awkwardly waves his hand. Something. I don't like my work being screwed up, that's all. I mean, that's fair. You're sure it's not someone selectively killing people? I'm not sure about anything. Our only guess so far is that everyone affected is taking the same thing. What a pain. Zeno lifts his hand, biting on the knuckle of his index finger. Our system is working so nicely. I don't want anyone messing with it. Come on. Go. 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 It's not working. Go. There you go. That worked. Stop that. What? Biting your finger. You're leaving marks. Zeno lowers his hand and covers it with his other one. Does the thought of someone interfering with his work stress him out that much? Zeno takes several steps back, increasing the distance between them. He waves at Dante, his smile the same as before. Well, it doesn't matter what it is. You're going to find out who's messing with my customers' customers, right? I have no choice. Then I'll do the same. I'm sure we can fix the problem together. Dante, see you again soon. Next time, let's have something to show for this case. Zeno does a little hop that lands him in midair again, quickly taking him up to another room where he vanishes out of sight. You say that, but you're not going to remember, are you? I think he will remember. Can't tell if he's a genius or an idiot. At least we managed to find Zeno and hear what he has to say. But I'd have liked something more useful. This whole night has been a waste. It doesn't help his mood. Dante rubs his hands over his face. Whatever, I did my work. Earl should be waiting for me. Time to finish up for today. It takes a moment for Dante to find his way, but soon he's walking down another alley to get to the bar. Hey, this looks familiar. With the night ending, people are starting to return home, if they have one. Tired yawns, drunk ramblings, and happy hollering can be heard, but Dante takes the quieter streets on purpose to avoid them. It always helps, but only so much. Even the back alleys have other people in them. Dante quickens his pace, listening despite himself wearing surly remarks or angry, slurred muttering. He'd never been the type to ignore rowdy drunks. They didn't ignore him either, which had been a blessing at least until Orion caught on. It wasn't really losing control of some idiot on the street swung at him first. The fights were an easy way to burn off his restlessness, but when he first started working as a cop, Orion had hardly left his side at night. He used to drag Dante away from the busier streets, repeating over and over, like a broken record, a very annoying one, for Dante to just ignore them. And he's right. Drunks don't make for challenging fights anyway. They're a waste of his time. He's good at it by now. Ignoring them, not jumping at every chance. That doesn't mean he doesn't want to fight. Damn vampire. I should see if he'll fight me again soon. Ryan is not to be underestimated as an enemy, which is why Dante has been trying to rile him up since day one. He only managed to bait him once by bringing up Alice. Dante hadn't liked what happened after that. But the end result was positive. Orion had agreed he needed an outlet, so they started sparring here and there. Not half as often as Dante would like, but better than nothing. Well, that's good. Okay, take a pinch of that. My soda. I'm going insane. Everything tonight is just messing with me on purpose. Fucking work, fucking case no one cares about except for Orion and some higher ups I've never even seen before. It's right when he has that thought that someone stumbles into Dante's path. Watch where you're fucking walking! Dante flares up. The alcohol stench coming off the man is so bad that it itches his nose. The man jolts, swaying from left to right. He's muttering something under his breath, but as he raises his head, the murmur quickly grows louder. It's incomprehensible nonsense. Apparently incomprehensible word, too. Half syllables that are connected in no particular order, more sounds than words. They tumble over each other as the man's face distorts, veins bulging out and eyes wide open. Oh, shit. He screams, a bestial cry, as he raises a fist, swinging it towards Dante wildly. Bastard, you picking a fight? Right now? Dante tries not to focus on the delight buried under the anger of his words. He catches the fist. It's surprisingly heavy for a man with such a thin build. He throws the punch right back. Connects hard enough that he can hear a crack. He expects the man to either back off, surprised by the resistance, or just keep swinging. What he doesn't expect is how the man turns, not at all reacting to whatever just broke. He bares his teeth, getting ready to bite right into Dante's hand. Dante pulls back his right hand, using the other to grab the man by the hair and swing him against the wall. There's a dull thud and the man slumps down. Ah, shit, come on, seriously? Dante groans. The man is not strictly human. Under the alcohol and the sense of other supernaturals, he smells like a wizard. Sadly, him being a wizard doesn't exactly fix his human frailty, and as Dante strains his ears, he can't hear him breathing anymore. Shit. The desire to ignore the situation is strong. If he's just killed the man, that's going to become a giant mess. The guilt doesn't quite settle in. There's too many other emotions taking up all the space. But he knows that Orion wouldn't leave. Neither would Raoul. He is neither of them, but he won't be able to look them into the eye if he doesn't take care of this. Dante kneels in front of the body, quickly checking the man's situation. The impact against the wall was not bad enough to kill a person. The punch before that was worse, and even that appeared to have only broken the man's nose, doing no further damage. No, the man shouldn't be dead, but here he is. Wow, what the fuck? Throws a punch at me first and then has the audacity to die in front of me. Son of a bitch. Wait. Dante squints at the corpse. Aggression followed by sudden death? No way. Could it be? Dante reaches out to touch the man again when Dante whips his head around, staring down the street. Seconds pass, but what he first thought was the sound of a single isolated step doesn't return. This night can't get any weirder. He sighs, returning to face the corpse. He doesn't get to focus on it. This time it's not an unknown sound, it's a voice almost right next to his ear. Wasting no time to think, Dante throws himself in the opposite direction, scrambling to his feet and distancing himself from whoever has managed to approach him without even audibly breathing. There's no smell to warn him of the stranger's presence. They smell like nothing. They're just suddenly there, looking at the dead person and then turning their attention towards Dante. He knows the stranger is looking at him without seeing their eyes. Ice seeps through his veins, an almost physical sensation as it steals his breath away. When the hooded figure straightens, their clothes rustle, but that's the only sound around them. This person is... The odd clothes he's wearing don't belong to North Haven or even this country. He stands out, and not in a good or bad way. It's the same way you'd notice an adult among children. There's something overpowering about him, to the point that it feels like a single flick of the stranger's finger could end a life. His sheer presence is enough to make Dante freeze up in terror. Shit, even just his gaze is terrifying. Part of Dante wants to run away, or at the very least lower his head and not be noticed. Another part of him thinks differently. How fascinating. I've never met anyone like this. Oh boy. He doesn't like to bow down, not even when he's as intimidated as he is right now. So Dante and Circe are both contrarian. Sounds about right. The different sides of him pull in opposite directions, ultimately rendering him completely motionless. Fight until the hierarchy is established, there is no surrender, and hellhound does not lower their head to someone who does not earn their submission. Submit because a fight is not necessary. This person, being creature, is far above him. It's stupid to not understand this, and accepting another's strength is not shameful. His human side, quiet till now, chimes in, when you see someone scary, isn't it better to run? What do you know about this one's state? The hooded man talks, interrupting his thoughts. His voice sends shivers right down Dante's spine. It's not a request, it's an order. He has to answer. He doesn't try to fight this, at least. There's no reason to. I don't know them. Dante's voice is shaking. He swallows heavily and puts a hand on his throat, forcing himself to calm down. He will not stutter from fear like a helpless pup. But they might be one of several deaths caused by the same thing. The man hums. After a moment of contemplation, he moves closer. The closer he gets, the more Dante wants to leave. What is he? I've never met anyone or anything like this before. What is he? What is he doing here? The man towers over Dante when they stand in front of each other, with a pair of eyes shining under the hood, staring right into him. Caused by what? At this point, it's getting harder to breathe. Dante's instinct is screaming, run away or lower your head. Just stop looking. Stop risking his anger. Stop risking your life. I'm not going to run away. Fear is choking his throat, but Dante doesn't move his eyes away out of sheer stubbornness. He has run away too often. He's had enough of it, even in the face of potential death. You're not running away? The eyes under the hood narrow. Dangerous. Stay. The thought is like a hand on his shoulder, steadying him. Dante forces himself to assess the situation as objectively as possible. The stranger isn't threatening him, not at all. Neither his aura nor what's visible of his facial expression is an act of deliberate intimidation. The stranger is terrifying to stand across from, but he's not made any move to attack. This is his natural aura pushing others down, not a conscious act. He's just asking questions. Prey that runs gets hunted. Stand your ground, don't give in. It's hard to hold eye contact with the man, but the longer Dante does, the more fascinating his eyes get. He's old, very old. His eyes are not a lake, they're an ocean. Calm right now, but the waves can build up high. There's no desire in them, and no threat. All the man is doing is looking down at a curious thing he encountered, giving it his attention for a mere few seconds. Breathless seconds pass. Then the man leans back again, and the pressure vanishes enough for Dante to inhale. Little things like you usually run away when I get close. You're not. How quirky. Who are you calling quirky? Continue on with your night, young hellhound. Don't forget to breathe. With that, the hooded man's attention span appears emptied. He turns his head up to the sky, pausing for a second. Then he walks off, odd clothes rustling softly with every step. Now, how did he know that about Dante? How did he know that Dante was a hellhound? By the time Dante manages to snap out of it, he's gone. Who was that? Someone like him would stand out everywhere. How is it that the whole city's not talking about him yet? Not to mention he knew what I was. It's impossible to tell the difference between a werewolf and a hellhound by scent alone. Did my reaction give it away? What else? When the fear is gone, there's nothing but awe left. That man is someone even the most powerful supernaturals in North Haven would bow to. That thought is almost pleasing. Power struggles are common within supernatural communities. There's always someone planning to overthrow the current boss. If that man stepped in, Dante can't imagine much that would stand in his way. I don't know that he'd be a desirable leader, but okay. I saw the dice out. I almost put it away just now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Why am I getting 2 and 4? He thought about it, but Dante has been holding himself back from joining the fights. It's not an easy thing. The desire is almost desperate, the feeling tearing his insides apart. But Orion has a hold over him. They have a deal. He's not going to mess that up. I'd love to fight that man, or see him fight. Even if the chances are slim, even if I don't survive it. His body yearns for something he can't quite grasp, pushes the urge down. Stop that! Dante shakes himself. I'm not a pup anymore, no more self-destructive urges. The man is gone, and it's best not to think about him. If he does think too much about him, he might just try to follow him. Dante shakes his head. Back to work. There's still a corpse on the ground. Pushing away all stray thoughts, he approaches the body. Dante checks the man from head to toe one more time. The distraction helps. Looking at him now, Dante finally understands what Orion meant about knowing a victim if he saw one. The skin of the corpse has developed thin cracks in the short time since he collapsed. It feels hard, as if the whole body's surface has hardened. Well, at least it looks like this wasn't my fault. That's something. The cracks have the slightest discoloration, but that's about it. You can still move the corpse's joints, so whatever has happened is mostly superficial. What the organs look like, he couldn't say. I've seen people's insides before, but I don't exactly have an interest in them. That's a job for pathology. I'll have to get someone from the station to fetch the body. Sadly, he doesn't have a phone. They're giant brick-shaped things, unwieldy and inconvenient to carry around. Beryl keeps one on him, but he's not here. He does, in theory, have a pager. But that's exactly where it always is, on his desk back at the station. He just really hates that thing. Contacting the station is what he has Raoul for, right? Still, there's no way he's going to carry a corpse on his back, so he has to inform someone. Time to wake some people up. There's enough houses around. He just has to sniff out a supernatural household, then ring long enough until he can tell someone to call the station. Fun! No Illinois can fight against the power of a police badge. The poor couple Dante woke up wasn't happy, but neither was he, so they made the phone call obediently enough. Having gotten confirmation that someone was coming, Dante decided that his day was over. The couple will make sure no one steals the corpse. The bar is still open. When Dante enters, there's a handful of people sitting here and there. The Golden Cat is his favorite bar. It's a cozy place frequented by both supernaturals and humans in the know, which is perfect for enjoying a beer after a long day or night of work. A bit farther inside, Raoul was already waiting for him, sitting with two people Dante recognizes. Guess it's good that he had company while he was waiting. Halfway decent company, even. You could consider Edgar good company, Raoul. They're both decent people with morals and all that. I knew it. Circe, probably not so much. Vampire private detective known for hunting her own kind. Circe's whereabouts prior to her appearance in Northaven are a mystery known to few, but rumor has it she was once the eternal companion of a primordial. Ooh. The bar isn't that big, so they notice him the moment he enters. Dante feels Circe's eyes on him and involuntarily rubs over his arm, where the hands are standing up. He takes a breath to calm himself. Nothing happened. Dante stops at the bar to order a drink first. He can hear Circe talking about him. Is he avoiding us? I think he can hear you. Yes, that was the point. I remember that. He ignores her for now, reaching to pet the cat sitting on the counter. Oh my gosh! That's a pretty kitty. Sina, the namesake of the Golden Cat. The first Sina belonged to the original owner, but both passed away long ago. The current owner's cat bears a surprising resemblance to her, which might be why she's also known as Sina. She's the namesake of the bar and probably the only cat that doesn't care about getting petted, even when the one doing it is a supernatural. Sina purrs as he strokes her fur, leaning into the touch. She's warm, small, and weak. Complete opposite of the man just now. A rough tongue licks the tip of his finger. Sina experimentally gives it a bite to see if it's not something edible, and turns away in distaste when it's not. Bold kitty, not even worried I might hurt you, huh? Yeah. He scratches her ear, but in a classic cat-like manner, the animal suddenly decides she's had enough and jumps off the counter. As she vanishes somewhere underneath the tables, the bartender returns. Here's your beer. Thanks. Beer in hand, Dante finally joins the group waiting for him. Takes a seat next